everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do a wee what I eat in a day. I've not done this kind of video specifically. I know I chat about food quite a lot on my channel, and I've done a previous, I think, what I eat in a week, so I'll link that below if you didn't see that. But I thought it'd be nice to show you kind of a realistic day of eating for me. So if you don't know, I am vegan, and I've been vegan for over 5 years now actually, so it's definitely like my norm. I am used to it, so I thought it'd be quite interesting maybe for you guys to see the kind of things I eat if you are interested in maybe eating more plants, or if you're vegan yourself, or maybe you did January, I can never pronounce that correctly this year, and you know, you want to keep going, which is great. So I tend to cook quite simple meals. I do cook a lot of my meals from scratch though. I much prefer that to more processed food. So I'll be showing you those, and also it's winter at the moment, so a lot of my meals are quite cosy. So if it's winter where you are, then this might give you some inspiration. So you would have seen earlier I've already had my breakfast. I have the same breakfast pretty much every single day, which some people might find boring, but to be honest, nothing tops porridge for me. So I essentially have overnight oats, so I soak them overnight in chia seeds and raisins, and then in the morning I warm them up and I add in some apple. I do change up what I add in a little bit through the year just to get that bit of variety, so I have apple more so in the colder months when that's in season, and then when the berries are in season in summer I tend to add berries as well, and then I try and add things on top just like up the nutrients. So I added, I think this morning, flax seeds and cacao nibs. I often add hemp seeds as well, but I didn't have any of those, so I couldn't have those today. So yeah, and I also wanted to take you guys out with me. I've got no food in the house currently, well, not much food, no fresh produce. I've not had a car for the last couple of weeks because it failed its MOT, but luckily it's passed now, it's all fixed. So I can actually go to a proper supermarket and stock up, so I'm actually quite excited about that. I actually quite enjoy food shopping, and I've done my meal plan for the next 1 to 2 weeks and made a big list from that, so I'll take you guys with me maybe and yeah, show you what I've got so you can have again a good overview of how much money I spend and also what kind of stuff I get for my kind of cooking. And just like I think an important thing to say, and I see other YouTubers say this, and I think it is important to say, like, this doesn't mean you need to eat how I eat. This is just how I eat. You know, we're all very different bodies, different circumstances, different tastes, and don't think directly compare or anything like that. This is just for maybe some ideas, and I'd also love to hear any of the things you love to eat and share any recipes, etc. Please do drop them in the comments below. I always love to see them. But right now I'm just going to get cracking and we're going to go food shopping. Bye. Hi. Hi. What's all that shopping? Lots of shopping. Yes. Oh, I don't think there's anything in there for you. You've got your food. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Did you miss me? Did you miss me when I went to the supermarket? Yes, I did. Of course I did. The good girl. So I just got back from my food shop and I thought I would show you what I got. I got quite a lot. For reference, this is about 2 weeks worth of food, roughly. It won't do the entire 2 weeks, it just does the bulk, and then I often do like top up shops of just maybe some fresh produce and bread, etc. And that's for 1 to 2 people. So some of you asked, I do eat with my partner sometimes, so he's actually not vegan, so we don't always eat together. Sometimes he likes to do his own thing, sometimes I like to do my own thing, but we do share quite a few dinners, so this is like 1 to 2 people worth. And I think I spent about £70, which is a bit, there's quite a lot for me, but I suppose that's not too bad with the living costs going up and everything. I went to Aldi first, mostly because they do the best frozen fruit, and then I went to Tesco. I did about half the shop in each. I prefer Tesco's fruit and veg. We did most of my fruit and veg there. I think it's high quality. I can get more organic stuff and a lot more of it is not in plastic. So there's quite a lot here, so let's get going. I'll start with the fresh produce because that's the most of it. So in terms of fruit, I got some organic garlic apples. I got some 2 oranges for smoothies. Started doing those recently. I got 3 lemons even. That's mostly to go in like hot water in the morning. I like to have lemon water. There is more fruit in here, but I can't find it, so we're going to go on to veg. Got a really nice big squash. This is the kind of fruit and veg basically I buy regularly, and squash is definitely one of them. That always does me multiple meals. And I got a couple of carrots because I already had some in the fridge, and a couple of sweet potatoes. Again, already had a few of those. I've got onions. I think there's 1 red and 4 brown onions in there, and some just like loose potatoes. And then some chives. I don't normally buy these kind of herbs. I do feel a bit like conflicted with the plastic, but I am going to try and make a vegan egg and chive sandwich. I think that's what I'm doing this week. I made a big list basically. I did my meal plan and then I went out, so I think that's what this is for. So I did decide. And then in summer I do grow my own chives, so I don't tend to buy stuff like that often. Broccoli, again, I can't get that outside of plastic, apart from when I go to the really big supermarket, but that's like an hour away. Got kale and spinach for recipes, but also for my smoothies. I'll show you my smoothie in a bit. I have a green smoothie most days. I got these fresh greens. I wasn't actually going to get these. I was meant to be getting a Savoy cabbage for a recipe, but I didn't have it, and I thought, this is green, maybe this will do. And it was actually really cheap, and that's like a lot of food. And 2 courgettes. I always have courgettes in the fridge. And there's my bananas. Some fair trade bananas there. Again, mostly for smoothies. And some Brussels sprouts. Again, I don't get this that often, but they're for a recipe. Asparagus that I could only get in plastic, which is annoying. Cucumber. Posh tomatoes. I don't like the basic cherry tomatoes, so I get these ones. And some chestnut mushrooms. I think that's most of my fresh produce. So that was like probably half the shop maybe in fresh produce. And then we'll go into tins. So I got 2, ooh, it's all collapsing on me. 2 butter beans. They're probably my favourite white bean. I just like them more substantial than others. 2 coconut milk. I like the Aldi one, and actually it's always reasonably priced, and I don't prefer the like low fat, reduced fat, but it's actually quite difficult to get full fat coconut milk. I prefer those because these can be a bit watery, but still nice. Again, I'm a posh tomato person, so I got the branded chopped tomatoes. A lot of these tins I have some already in my pantry, so it's not from scratch, but yeah, black beans, which I can't always get in Tesco, so I've got those in Aldi. Some sweet corn, because I think we're going to do a pizza night. I'm going to try and make our own pizzas, and I like sweet corn, and I also like to have mushrooms and olives on top of my pizza, if you're interested. Classic baked beans, got 2 of those, and then I got a passata. I tried this one recently. It's the basil and oregano one from Aldi, and I like it because I make a recipe that adds those herbs anyway. It's a lentil ragout, so it's quite nice to have it in the mix. And then what else should we do? So I got 2 tofu. Good thing about this tofu, maybe all tofu, I'm not sure actually, is they've got quite long dates, so I can afford to get, I did consider getting 3, but I did get 2. Mostly because I couldn't bear to get 3 with the prices of what they are at the moment. I got my favourite tea. I don't go budget on tea. I do spend a bit more money, so Clipper is probably my favourite tea brand. Pucker is a close second, but Clipper does my favourite like everyday tea, and all their stuff is organic and unbleached and plastic free tea bags. It's all compostable, and I think it's just tastes the best as well. If you can hear clopping around, that's Sky in the background sniffing all the bags. What's left over. And then I got these as just like a pre-packaged snack. I do like to make my own snacks, but it's not always feasible, so I like to get these. They're a bit cheaper than like the bars you get. I love Trek bars, but they're just extortionate, so I don't get them very often. I got some flaxseed just because I saw it. I usually get this stuff online, which I'll be chatting about a bit later because I usually actually get them from My Vegan, but this was quite cheap and I saw it, so I thought I'm actually running out of flaxseed, I might as well get it. I didn't get much more pantry stuff. I did get some more red lentils again. They're much cheaper in Aldi. And I got some bicarbonate soda, bicarbonate of soda, which is actually for cleaning more so than for recipes. I got 2 oats. This was a bit of a dilemma for me because I like to get, I've forgotten the brand, but they're basically posher oats. They're like organic and more expensive basically, but with cost of living, I decided to go budget this week and get some budget oats because there's not a massive difference in taste and they're so much like half the price if not less. So decided to go budget, and I can still get those in paper from Aldi, which is what I can get the other ones in rather than plastic. Got some corn flour just for my pantry. I don't actually have any. This was some recipes, and then we're almost there. I just got 3 Oatly full fat one. That's my favourite plant milk, and I put that in my porridge. And then I got 3 of the Aldi own soy milk, so don't really notice any difference in the branded and the non-branded, whereas with the Oatly I really notice a difference, so I do get that branded. And then I just got 2 bags of mango, frozen mango smoothies, like my favourite frozen fruit, budget spaghetti. And I got this from Aldi. I don't think I've tried any of their plant range, or not much of it. And I don't buy many things like this, but I tend to at least have one thing in the freezer. That's easy, so I thought I'd try their burgers. It's just their ultimate beef burgers. And then the only last thing I got was this, which I've actually started eating. It's the No, which is probably my favourite vegan chocolate brand, and it's their caramel one. And it just tastes like any dairy milk caramel, in my opinion. So I started eating that on the way home. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna put all this away. Believe it or not, it does fit in a tiny home kitchen, but it does take some time. And then I will be making a smoothie, so I'll show you guys what I have then. I completely forgot to show you what bread I got. So I also got some tortilla wraps, some soft pitters. I prefer these to the like normal pitters. They're just easier to fill, which it literally says on there. Those I tend to just put in the freezer for when I need them, and I take one out at a time. And then I also got my naan, my favourite naan bread. These are really yummy and vegan, which is handy because a lot of naan bread isn't. And I tend to also put this in the freezer, but I think it's got a good date on it, so I'll leave it out this week because we're having curry later in the week. Just thought I would mention those things. So it's about mid-morning now, or it's actually more like 11, and I'm just about to make my smoothie. I normally have this a bit earlier, but obviously I got back a bit late today because I was doing my food shop, so I'm just going to show you what I put in that. Okay, so first things first, I bought myself a NutriBullet this year as a bit of a treat, and it's mostly because I wanted to get into making smoothies again. I did have a blender, but the smoothies always came out not great. It wasn't a very powerful blender, and I could never really make green smoothies without having like bits of spinach floating in it, so it just wasn't that appetizing, and decided, you know, let's treat myself. This is one everyone talks about, and I have to say I've been really impressed with it. It's by far the best blender I've ever had, and I don't think it's too expensive for what it is as well. And obviously I've got limited space, so the fact that it's quite small is ideal. And it came with this one, but it also came with a bigger, if you want a bigger container, you can just swap out the blades. And it also came with like a screw-on lid, so you can put something in the fridge, and also a lid that you can drink from. So yeah, just to say, really big fan of the NutriBullet. But this is the kind of standard smoothie I've been having recently. So I have a few bits of frozen mango. I'm just using up what I already had left over today. And then I put in either half a banana or a whole banana. This one's quite small. So I'm just going to put all of that in. And then I put in a little bit of ginger. And in terms of, I blend it with some soya milk, and then put my greens, so I either put in spinach or kale, and then I also put in some, like, try and put in some extra superfood type stuff. So again, you saw me put my flaxseed on my porridge this morning, so I eat flaxseed quite a lot. I put some of that in, and I also have been trialling this. So I've tried protein powders, vegan protein powders in the past, and not really been keen. I always thought the taste was pretty gross, to be honest. but I have heard that the My Vegan ones are really good. So I got the vanilla one because I thought that's kind of a good base for any smoothie, and it's been great. Like, it's been really, really nice. It's a really nice taste, and it's not too overpowering either. I can put quite a lot of this in and you can kind of taste the vanilla, but it's not too powerful. Comes with a little scoop with it as well inside, which is quite handy. And yeah, I've been really impressed. And I've also noticed that I'm fuller for longer since I've been putting protein powder in my smoothies. You don't need extra protein like this, I don't think, as a vegan, but I do work out fairly regularly, and it's just a nice thing to know. You know, my smoothies is a way basically me thinking, okay, let's cover some protein, some iron from my greens, vitamin C, and it's also super tasty. So I will show you how I do that. So I'm just getting my lunch on now, and I'm making a big batch of soup. I don't make soup from scratch every day. It's usually just once a week, and typically at the weekend I try and make it, and then I have it through the week. Sometimes if I make a really big batch, I'll freeze some as well, so I can have it for like another week's lunch. But this one's a really nice one. I think I've shown you guys at least like the soup, the end result before. It's from Pick Up Lime's website, and I do recommend her recipes and her website because it's a really nice website to navigate, and it has loads of really yummy recipes, and also she's a nutritionist, so it makes you feel a bit more confident about some of the recipes she puts on are going to be good for you. So I'll link that down below. But yeah, I'm just cooking it all now, and then I can blend it and then serve it up with some sourdough, so that's exciting. So I'm just about to start cracking on with some dinner. I'm going to be making a recipe from this book. I think I've shared this with you guys before. It's Lucy Watson's Feed Me Vegan. It's a great book. I'm going to be making this recipe today. So it's well, I say I'm going to make this recipe. I'm going to do classic me. Actually, I'm going to make partially this recipe and also change it because that's what I tend to do. So it's actually a chickpea and butternut squash curry, but I'm going to make a chickpea and sweet potato curry because we actually prefer, me and my partner both eat this, we actually prefer it with sweet potato, and also I need the squash for a different couple of recipes. So I've got plenty of sweet potato, and it's clearly a sweet potato day because I had that in my soup as well for lunch. So this is super easy to do. does 2 to 3 portions normally. So yeah, I'm just gonna crack on with this and show you guys what I make. So I think I'm gonna end the vlog here. Thank you very much as always for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and if you want to see any more videos like this, what I eat in a day, week, etc., I'm happy to do them because I enjoy filming this. But please do like and subscribe if you did enjoy. It really does help my channel, and I will see you guys next week.